Alright, it's time. Another week. ZTGD Radio. This is episode 838 for March 24th, 2025. On the show this week, we have Anthony.
I'm crying. Alright, I'm good.
Alright.
I'm here. I'm sorry, everybody, for I had to edit last week's podcast, and hearing my voice, I apologize for years of torture.
Oh, you had to listen to it to edit it.
Oh, yeah, listen, I'm sorry.
We also got the Wild Man.
Yes,
And we got Terrence.
hello.
Hi. Anyway, I don't usually do a take two. It throws me off.
We need to put those Evangelion sounds on the soundboard.
I mean, you guys gotta tell me that before we're doing the show, because I can't put them on.
I thought you did it. I thought you did it last week. Cause I thought
motherfucker, when this show ends, I am away from this desk. I run away. I don't.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I sit at this motherfucker 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 2 hours on Sun, 3 hour, whatever. I don't want to be near it anymore. We got a lot. We got a lot of video games to talk about, and we have a big one that everybody's going to talk about. So we should probably roll through other stuff first. Anthony, do you have anything you want to talk about before? Okay, so we'll save you for Assassin's Creed. Terrence, what about you? I know you have a couple.
I do. I don't know what the embargo is on.
Did I send you the time for Kazan? Whatever the fuck.
That's the one I don't remember what the embargo is on that one.
All right. This is all shit we should probably do before the show starts.
I know.
If we were a professional podcast, we would. But.
Right. You don't come here for professionalism.
You get what you pay for.
You come here for entertainment, right?
What do you pay for?
You come here for entertainment.
Do they pay you?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, I was just like, what?
Well, while you're looking, so I can talk about Atom Fall because that hasn't come out yet, but the review, I think the embargo was Friday. So it's, everybody thought initially, looking at it, and I did too. Oh my God, this just looks like Fallout in London. No, it very much is more We Happy Few than Fallout.
It is.
So it is set, in London, and there's a whole nuclear kind of conspiracy, not necessarily like a Fallout kind of situation, but there's a big mystery going on out here. There were some experiments done, and the government is hiding it. Now they've walled off this area, where these residents have to live, and nobody's allowed in or out. And somehow your character ends up here within these within the border or whatever. Like, you wake up, you don't know how you got there, whatever. This dude kind of gives you some vague leads to follow of looking for the, what's it called, the exchange or interchange? I think interchange, something
I don't know.
that.
I couldn't understand that dude in the vault. He was like
yeah.
What is?
It was, he was dying.
Yeah, he's like, give me a
got
Band-Aid.
a whole hazmat suit on. Yeah, it was really rough. And the game is very British. You're going to find British snacks because as you scavenge and stuff, you're going to find food and everything. So you'll find like posture. I can't even think of what they're called, but they're very British. Like and it's cool. Like I love that fact because I'm almost certain that I saw the TARDIS at one point, which is kind of neat.
Well, I mean, that's just a phone box.
Well, yeah. Well, that's the phone boxes are are throughout. You're going to find these red phone boxes where
I mean, that's the police phone box, I should say.
Well, right. But I'm saying I think I saw like it was blue and then like it like phased out. Like, and I swear to God, I heard the sound. Like, I think they did like a little Easter egg. I think I need to go online and see if anybody else.
That's actually an Easter egg also in Fallout 2, I think, that you can run into the TARDIS.
Oh, that's dope. I did not know that.
Yeah.
This game definitely wanted that Fallout vibe because it starts in a bunker.
Yes.
And then you emerge out of the bunker.
Like Fallout. Yep.
Yeah, and then it turns into We Happy Few with clown people you got to punch with a cricket bat. And I'm like, what are we doing?
So,
yep.
I do have a weird question. When you say it's like Fallout, I'm assuming you're talking Fallout 3?
Yes.
Yeah, Fallout
So,
3.
yeah, more
That's
Yeah.
first
those,
person.
the recent
Alright.
ones, the Bethesda ones.
The
The ones.
Those. And that's another interesting thing too. You talked about running into the clown people and cricket bats. So it when we say we happy few, it's very much a survival game, but not to the tree punching point, but to the point where ammo is scarce. You know, your weapons and stuff is going to break. You're going to have to craft materials and stuff like that.
You know, all the things in video games that aren't fun.
For a lot of people, yeah. And I don't necessarily mind those things. And I was cool with that. But I don't know, this game, just for whatever reason, you know, and I've seen a lot of the thoughts and stuff that people are saying, were the reviews that are out there, and they were, you know, praising it like, oh, this is super cool and good. And I just was really bored. I like, so combat for one is going to spice things up, but in this, you're going to get your ass beat.
Yeah,
like,
they really
100%.
tell you to stealth. Like, they constantly kept telling me, like, sneak up on people. I was like, I don't want to sneak up.
But then what's crazy is the stealth, like the stealth kill that you have, it's not a fucking stealth kill. It's like a brutal assassination in Assassin's Creed, where it tells you you're going to kill this person. It's going to be loud. Other people are going to come. Like, when you knock them down and like break their neck, it's like this loud, and they're like, oh. And then you hear, and it's like, what? Were they made of like metal or something? Like, why was it so loud? Like, it echoed through the hallway. So now all the guards are coming. You're like, oh shit. Like, if there's more than one guy, nah, you might as well run. You fucked. Now, what's cool is you can kind of bluff the enemies. So like, if you have a gun, looks like I said, ammo is scarce, but you don't have ammo. If you pull the gun out, they'll be like, oh shit, hold on. Whole player, he got their blicky. Like, they'll put their hands up and like start backing up, and they'll kind of de-escalate. But if they have somebody that has a gun, obviously he gonna be like, oh fuck that, I got one too, and he's just gonna start shooting at you. Like, I think a box popped up and even says like, you have to prepare for combat, and I'm like, what? Because there's like these stimulants and different like buffs that you can make that will, you know, help your, you know, your combat strength or buff your health and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm not mad at all this stuff.
I'm just disappointed.
It's very boring. I'm just disappointed. Yeah, it's boring. Oh, the biggest thing. Well, two things. I'm going to end with the really, really good thing about this game. When I said before, this is not the traditional type of game where they give you a quest and, hey, you go here and do this thing, and they show you the marker and stuff like that. They give you what's called leads in this, and you're investigating stuff. So you might find a note that says, oh, we ran into a problem at these coordinates and this thing happened with this. And so now you have to follow that. And then you may find another piece of that that's going to lead you someplace else. And another piece is going to lead you someplace else. There is no straight line with any of these, like, quote unquote quest, which can make extraordinarily long, you know, gameplay. Like, that's going to take forever. And that's one of the reasons why my review didn't go up, because we got the game kind of late. Like, there was no way I had enough time to put into it. But what I did discover, and we talk about this a lot on here, is that it does allow you to 100% tweak this game how you want to play. So you can go in there and you can tweak the enemies, their aggressiveness, how far they perceive you. You know, you can change.
They make this game fun.
Exactly. So you could do all of that. You could it basically puts you like in God mode. You can make the sprint unlimited, because right now you don't have unlimited sprint. You can make the ammo plentiful, you know, guns better. You can find better loot. Like, you basically can tweak everything to play this game, you know, how you want to play. And then obviously the only downside for those people that care is that, you know, there's some achievements that they cut off. If they do that all the time when you, right? Well, you know, some people care. Some people they care about that.
I mean, even the dude that like has like the gamer score record, like, he doesn't even really care anymore.
Right.
Like, so who's out there caring about these twinks?
Those are only fun if you really like a game.
Yeah, if you want to collect them for a game
yeah.
you enjoy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is why I have the platinum in Final Fantasy 15. However, getting that platinum made me go, yeah, I'm pretty much done with this. Just want to get it over with.
Did you have to fight the adamantoids for that?
I had to fight it twice. And no, it wasn't because I died.
That.
It was because I fucking glitched out of the battle area, and I had to restart the entire mission. I was close to done. I did a warp strike. It shot me to the other side of the map, and it was like, you left the area, and then I got to watch the tortoise sink back into the fucking ground and return to being a mountain. And I was like, cool.
Yeah,
that was great.
That fight about broke me. Like, oh my god,
it's
that
boring as shit.
I think I actually left during the fight. Like, I was like, fuck it.
Just keep swinging at it. But yeah, no, I did finish that one. The one that was probably the biggest grind to finish was Stories, Path of Destinies.
Oh god, yeah, where you got to go through multiple, like, minor different paths.
And you had to do one where it was like a 20 perfect dodge.
Oh, fuck off with that! Yeah,
slow time, and I fucking did it. I don't even know if there's a platinum trophy on that, to be honest with you, but I did it because I liked that game so much.
I love that game.
Did not do that for Omen Sight. So
Omen Sight was not nearly as good.
No.
Stories Path of Destinies is one of the... Man, I love that fucking game.
But it shows you how we feel about this. Terrence feels about this game if we're talking about fucking Final Fantasy 15 trophies.
I will say one thing about Adamfall that I noticed when I got it. That is a pretty ass game. It is a very pretty game.
Yes, it is. It is very pretty. It does look really good. And it's Rebellion, so the Sniper Elite.
It looks like Sniper Elite.
It does, yeah. So they're kind of branching out into something new. And I don't know, like I'm all for new universes. New universes and such. And that's cool. It did not grab me. Like it just. I
didn't know you could like tweak it to make it like super easy.
Oh yeah,
like I might go back and try that night. Now.
And you especially will appreciate it. And you can literally, when I tell you could play, brother, you can change everything. Like
okay, I'm just gonna give myself infinite shotgun ammo and just blow everybody's face off.
I'm almost certain you can do something like that. Like, and so, because I changed it to make it more like a traditional games where it gave me like the quest points and stuff. So I tweaked out all those settings, to make it more like that, which was fine. No, I ain't doing all that. But yeah, I just, like I said, I was more bored than anything else. I'm going to go to give it some more time and then write up the review, for it this week.
It's on Game Pass, so.
It is, yeah. So, I mean, give it a try. Obviously. Game Pass is the gift that keeps on giving. Because it's not a horrible game. Like, it really is not. My opinion just differs from other people. I just was bored with it. But obviously, there are people that, are digging it. What'd you find on the date for
It's tomorrow at 11 a.m. So, if we, it normally takes me till that long to get it ready anyway, so.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll talk about that then. So, I'm in the middle of playing the first Berserker Kazan for review as well.
I cannot remember the name of this game. Every time somebody asks me, I'm like, I don't fucking... Because I'm like you.
Is this that Genie movie?
Every time I hear Berserk, I think of like that old Guts Rage anime.
That's what I thought you were talking about. He he was like, hey man, you want to review Berserk? And I was like, what? The Berserk for the anime? Hell yeah, I didn't even know that was coming. And then I took a second, I was like, wait, this nigga talking about, oh, okay, that's fine. But yeah.
That's what I thought it was. And then, like, I can never remember the actual name. I'm always like, is it like the Kazan, the first Berserker? What? I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's the first Berserker, Kazan. And it's essentially a Souls game.
And I'm it.
Listen. Well, hold on. Stay with me for just a second.
I'm done.
Wait, is it on Game Pass?
No, this one's not on Game Pass.
It does have a demo though. It's set in. And I've never played this game. I don't know if y'all have the Dungeon Fighter Online.
I played the fighting game.
Oh yeah, that DNF.
Yeah, DNF Duel. Yeah, I played that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I played that. So yeah, that's where he's from. And I guess this is kind of like them branching out, like Riot is doing with League of Legends and trying to, give people their own kind of games. So it's set 800 years before whatever happens in Dungeon Fighter Online.
I don't know what happened in Dungeon Fighter Online.
I don't either. That's why I'm just, if you know, you know.
If you know,
you know.
You know.
Yeah. So it happens 800 years before all of that, and you play as Kazan, and it's so. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Anthony,
I don't know.
I thought you were talking about Shaq. I'm gonna grant you a wish.
That is a good movie, actually.
Not bad. Yeah, no, I like that should be fucking. That movie should be a lot worse.
It should. But no, that movie, yeah. I remember we had that on VHS. We wore that tape out. We watched that way more than it was better than it should have been.
I kill people
Weird
800 years
Will
before.
might be the better
Dungeon
rapper,
Fighter Online.
but Shaq is the better genie.
He is. Oh, okay. Listen, Jesus Christ. All right, I 100%. This story is just as I don't know. I'm not following it because I feel like you're supposed to know
it's
something
anime
about
as
these
fuck.
characters. It's super anime. So all I know is that my Kazan is pissed off at the Emperor, and he got betrayed on this battlefield, and he's possessed by a Blade Phantom ghost, and now he's made a pact with it to get his vengeance. But then you also got to help out the Blade Phantom. That's pretty much where we are.
So it's Shadow of Mordor.
Oh damn! Yeah, yep. That is what it is. Yep. Wow, I didn't even think about that because you have to fight that man. So okay, I was cool with the game. Like I was going fine. Also, this game you can tweak all of those settings as well. So not tweak all of them, but it has an easy mode. So it has a normal and an easy mode. I played it on normal up until I got to that boss, a real boss, the Blade Phantom. And then after I lost, oh God, 10 times?
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Well, I switched to easy. And then
I'm just saying, it's like I'll lose 10 times in a fight. Like, that sounds like fun.
Well, because it's one of those things where like every time I died, like I knew what I did wrong. So I was like, I can correct. But then go into the fight and he does something totally different. And I was like, oh shit, I wasn't prepared for that. Okay, well I can correct for that. And then I just kept getting caught in that circle. And then I was like, who the fuck am I like beating my head against the wall for? Ryan? I want Ryan to give me some props because I beat this game.
That's right.
Because he loves No, whatever, Ryan. So I put it on easy.
That's right.
I feel like
That's
I'm in
what
I'm in my retirement phase of video games. I ain't got to prove. I beat Ninja Gaiden back in the day. I don't have to play hard now.
Yeah, I'm cool. Like I put my time in, so I put it on easy mode, and I'm enjoying it a lot more. I was fine up until that boss fight. Like I was, because it's very much like the typical Elden Ring, Dark Souls types games where you're dodging. You have to do those kind of perfect counters. It has a stamina system. What I will say about this that I like, or that makes me like it a lot more, is the combat is way faster than the usual. But it is those, you get killed, you got to go back and pick up your, what's it called in this? It's not karma. It starts with a K. I can't remember what it's called, but you got to go back and pick up your currency.
Your Kit Kats.
Your Kit Kats. You got to get those Kit Kats.
You got to break them off.
Fucking right, you do.
And you use that to upgrade your character, to level up your character. Again, just like in Elden Ring, you pick strength, and that puts you up a whole level, and it tweaks stats and stuff. So, but it is very anime. Like I said, the combat is good. I think I have a good grasp on it. The problem is that all of these games, and that's what kills me. Like when we, reviewing so much different stuff at the same time, is everything will be similar, but then play like just different enough that it fucks you up. And the fact that Assassin's Creed, like combat is on the bumpers and this game is on the face buttons, like, and it messes me up every time because I would just put Assassin's Creed on the buttons, but it doesn't let you tweak the buttons like that. But we'll talk about that later. But no, so far this is not bad. The first Berserker Kazan is pretty good. I mean, again, if you have some history with Dungeon Fighter Online, you're probably going to appreciate it way more.
I didn't even
than
know that
I
was a
am.
game, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I didn't either.
there's some just shit out there you don't know about. It's okay.
Well, it's a Korean, I think.
Yeah, it's
and it's really
Nexon.
There's a
big
lot
It's,
of
over
those.
there.
If
it's
you're about to
Nexon.
say it's a Korean MMO, there's like way too many of those for
Pearl
nobody ever knowing
Abyss. Well, that
Yeah,
shit.
it's Nexon. Yeah, so it's like super big over there.
The only one is Black Desert. That's the only one I remember.
Yeah, they're making 2 other ones. One of them's the like fucking
The
weird
single player one,
little
that
people
Crimson.
game with the little Munchkin people or whatever. They look like Sid the
You say
Science
those
Kid. That
things
fucking
like
game.
Oh yeah,
I can't deny what you're saying. I just at the same you know what I mean. There's so
Well,
many
I want to play that one.
It's got a
believe
weird
you.
name. It's like
That doesn't mean I'm-
Bokeh or some shit.
I can't think of what it's called, but I want to play. I know what you're talking about.
Is that the one with like the monsters?
Yes,
Okay,
And
that
they
is
have-
the one that I do remember.
Like
but I
you
can't remember the name.
skateboard and shit as Sid the
Yeah, that's
Science
the one
Kid.
that I remember. But
Yeah.
Yep. That
And they're
one- yeah, I
also
haven't
making
heard-
another Crimson game, right? A single player game. I
Yeah.
think you mentioned. Yeah, so they're making
The
2
Crimson
games at the same
whatever.
time.
Yeah,
That's what pays for the
Isn't
Keeleys.
that part of the Desert series?
Yes, I think
It
it's
is.
the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? What happened to that? Because they had one that they announced years ago. Because I remember one of my niggas was on it. It was a shooter. It was like It wasn't Section 31.
Man, I don't
Star
know.
Trek.
They release
It
like
was-
47 games a year that come and go, and I don't even remember them.
I feel like they put out trailers and then they don't even come out. Like what?
They probably
look it
do.
up.
We
Somebody else
just
is
no
talking.
one. No
Yeah,
one
we
fucking
don't like.
pays
They
attention.
probably
Oh,
come
yeah.
out and like we don't play them, and then like there's like a group of like 1,000 people that play them, and then they die, and you don't know.
Remember, what was that game that Remedy did the single player for? Crossfire.
Crossfire, like the
Crossfire
biggest
is one of the
game on
most
the planet,
played
and
games
never heard
in
of
the
it.
world. And like, let's be honest,
I did not know that until it came to.
came and went.
Yeah, because it was bad.
It even came to
was
PlayStation
bad.
at some point, right?
I think that version was actually notoriously bad, even.
I mean,
with fans.
that single player game was really bad. I played it. I was like, this sucks.
Man,
No, I mean
that,
the multiplayer. I don't think the multiplayer took off, but I mean that's what happens when you split a base. So
right.
not a huge surprise.
What else? What else have I played? Hold on.
I don't know. I didn't play your games.
Imagine. I think. Oh,
Oh.
30. No, I talked about 33 Immortals.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about that last week. It was
I
way
booted
too
it
many
up
Immortals.
and played
Too
through the
many Immortals.
tutorial, and I was like, no.
It's not really not bad if you like Hades.
I
So I
don't.
mean, you're
Yeah.
okay. But then no. But if you enjoy Hades, it's pretty good.
Don't even pretend it's as good as Hades.
I 100% am not. Because Hades is a
Listen to this
phenomenal game.
motherfucker. He's pulling that. I didn't play it, but fuck you.
Yeah, that was
Listen,
wild.
listen.
I don't know.
Damn, what the hell?
Hades,
What?
Hades. Here's the reason why I say that. I have never liked a game from that developer. Whose name I cannot remember.
Supergiant.
I want to say Supergiant. I was going to say it's not Supermassive. That's the other people. But yeah, Supergiant. I've never liked a game from them. That game is so fucking good.
It hurts my soul that you don't like Bastion.
It's boring, man.
I loved
Bastion.
I thought it moved too
Wait,
slow.
was Bastion the one with the
narrator? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I liked that game. That was pretty cool.
It's not bad. I just didn't.
Whatever that fucking sports game was, I hated that game. I don't remember.
I don't know if I played that one.
I don't remember what that one's
And that
called.
one with the lady with the
about.
sword, I didn't care for either. I forget what that was called.
I played that.
Yeah,
but that was-
Transistor.
I
I didn't
played
like
that
that
on
game.
mobile. Yeah, I had that on my phone. It wasn't bad.
Video games.
Oh, yeah, I know. I
I'm
didn't
also
know.
a Greek. I'm also a Greek mythology nerd. So like,
What the fuck
Hades
is going?
is
What?
shit.
Could you explain to? Maybe somebody can explain this to me. If you're making a Hades, like, does it have to be early access? Because this game is early access.
Apparently,
Like Hades
I
was in
don't-
early access for like 2 years or something, wasn't it? Or like a year?
Hades 2 is currently
Hades
in
2
early
is in.
access.
Yeah, like
Yep.
they announced
I'm
Hades,
waiting
like
until it
people's
actually
playing
launches.
Hades 2 like for like 2 years now. Like
I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue as long as player feedback is being taken into account. I don't give a shit if it stays in early access. It's more of a lot of things that start in early access just kind of stay that way, or they hit 1.0 and never update World of Horror.
I don't know, man. I just
Not
like
salty at all.
early
Project
access is
Zomboid, I feel like it's been in early access since
Project
2013.
Zomboid
Like,
is
what are we
because
doing?
they keep updating based on fan response to
like
stuff.
at some point just
Like,
put the
they keep
fucking
adding
game out.
content.
Like I
Yeah,
don't
I mean
know,
that.
man.
Right. Like, you got to just call a 1.0 at some point. Like, bro, Christ, the
Dwarf
fire.
Fortress just hit 1.0, and that game was in development for like a decade.
I just
Which one?
Dwarf Fortress.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I did read
That
about
game.
that.
like I don't play
Fucking
stuff in early
awesome.
access because I feel like I'll be done with it before it hits 1.0, and I'm just like I just won't care anymore.
So that's me
Yeah.
now. I used to, and really, you know what killed Ark is what killed it, because I had Ark when it first, the day one it came out on PC. I bought it and it was buggy as shit. And right now it's still buggy as shit. And that was
Yeah.
many
Well,
years
they
ago.
moved on to
So
the next game.
yeah.
Bitch, you remember they made
Shit.
an Ark Minecraft at one point?
Well,
It did.
yeah, they did. Yep.
Pixark.
Pixark? Yeah, I played
you know
that.
what?
I was like, okay.
They moved
Remember how they
Go ahead.
remastered
Ark? Yeah.
Ark.
So they could
Yep.
sell the DLC again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Remember when they made not Ark Atlas?
The pirate
Like the
game?
pirate?
And then abandoned it.
Literally
Yeah.
Yep.
Ark.
I bought that too.
Remember when they announced Vin
remember how they
Diesel was in
promised-
Ark 2
I was
and
gonna
it still
say
never
Vin
come
Diesel's
out?
gonna be in 2. Fuck that studio.
Didn't they just release like an underwater AI trailer or some shit?
Something. Yeah, they did.
Scummy as
They
shit.
did.
The game was in early access and they were selling DLC.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
video
not just
games
like
now.
cosmetic to be like, hey, help us with development and get a unique cosmetic. No. It was full expansion packs.
No, it was a full, because it was a whole, the very first one, because I got into the game, but once you got the console, my wife got into it way more than I did. But we ended up actually meeting some people that we became friends with in real life from there, which was kind of cool. But the very first expansion was a whole like desert like thing that introduced like dragons, and now you can like dragon eggs, and there's a whole super hot mechanic and shit that you got to do.
You know what the biggest problem with that game
And it was never 1.0.
The biggest problem with that game is when they show it to you, they show you like riding a fucking T-Rex and shooting down bases, and then when you boot up the game, you're some naked dude on a beach throwing a stone.
Yup. And they do not tell you or fully explain that you got to put at least fucking 40 hours before you're the guy in the trailer riding on the T-Rex shooting a gun.
Yeah,
because
I've played that game so many times, and every time I play it, I'm like, man, the first like 10 hours of this game are fucking boring.
It is a struggle, like to get a base and get to a point where you can finally get protected, especially if you're playing by yourself. If you have people with you, it's a little easier, but man. And then, I don't know if they fixed this, but this turned into a whole thing on fucking Ark. But like, once your base gets so big, the game just starts lagging. Like everything starts like rubber banding and shit.
Yeah,
like,
that game looked like
really
shit,
bad.
man.
Yeah, like it. Oh man, I think they might have limited it now. Like, but it. Oh my god, at the beginning it was rough. Like
my son and his friends still play that game on occasion. They used to play it a ton, but they don't really play it that much anymore. But they do still play it sometimes.
I don't know, man.
Every time I look at it, I'm like, man, this game looks like awful.
It's so weird to watch the games like our kids grow up playing, because you like look at them, you're like, this is just fucking trash.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But
how
the kids love it.
And the stuff that we would play now.
Yeah, like these. And when I show my son like the classics, I'm like, you should play Mega Man, you should play Mario. He's like, I don't like this. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Kids, freaking kids. Excuse me. I think that's all I played. I'm sure there was more. I'm sure someone will say something, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I did actually mess with that."
But
I want to move it along.
It's not going to happen in mine.
I was going to say, Wombat, do you have anything besides Assassin's Creed you want to talk about?
I mean, I'll just mention that I finished Skies of Arcadia, which was the first time I beat that game in 20 years, probably.
Still holds up?
It still holds up. Still holds up.
Good.
There's some parts of it that are annoying. I forgot, as I think I mentioned before, that running away from battle hurts your swashbuckler rating, which unlocks different things throughout the game. And so don't run away a lot, even if you're tired of all the random battles. They do have something, and I think they added it for Legends because I don't think it was there in the Dreamcast original, but they added a black flag and a white flag, where one of them makes you get into battle more frequently, random battles more frequently, and one of them makes them happen less frequently. And you can basically equip it as a one of your accessories. So if you're trying to do something and you want less random battles, you can equip the white one, and if you're trying to grind or whatever, you can equip the other one. But yeah, and I played with a widescreen mod on the Steam Deck, so that it wasn't in 4.3, which worked pretty well. Although the game is obviously built for 4.3, so sometimes during the cutscenes, you would be seeing one thing in the middle of the screen and something completely different on the edges because of the way the game handles like the cutscenes. But overall, it worked pretty well, for a mod at least. But yeah, I mean, other than that, it held up. It holds up pretty well.
I loved the airship battles in that game.
Yeah,
when
they're
you got
great.
I can't remember what the name of the ship was when you got the
Delphinus.
Yes. Oh man.
Yeah. It's got the Moonstone Cannon. Fire. Yep. Yeah, that is one thing that doesn't hold up well in that game, and maybe they still do it because it's been a while since I played what I would consider to be a true JRPG. The special attacks take fucking forever, and they always have to say the name of it when they do it.
God, yeah,
so
they still do that.
Yeah, I got real tired after a while of hearing Fury and that kind of stuff. But other than that, it's still the game you remember from the GameCube remake was 2003, so 22 years ago.
Jesus Christ, we're old.
Or 25 if you played the Dreamcast one.
Old. And I did. I played the Dreamcast one. That's where I beat it the first time.
That's the same.
Oh man. But I hate that they say the names of the Tales. The Tales games are like that. That annoyed the shit out. And I haven't actually gone back to that in Tales of Arise. Like you're fighting and the whole Skyward Thrust.
I mean, that was video
Skyward
games
Thrust.
Back then, man. Like
Tales of Arise came out like 3 years ago. What, back then?
Yeah, but that's we're trying to do the nostalgia now from back then. That's how that works.
Oh, okay, you're right. That is.
It wouldn't bother me so much if all of the special attacks in that game didn't have ridiculously long, unskippable animations.
That was the way back then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Grandia was bad about. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, Grandia was real bad. Well, those two games came out right at the same time, basically.
Oh yeah, they did. That's right.
Grandia, you had to watch all of your fucking party members climb the ladder. Everybody
Yes.
had to jump the ridge.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Fucking just fuse us into one person like every other RPG.
Right.
You're not doing anything interesting by having the fucking whole gang follow behind.
Now, if you had our gang following behind, that'd be a different story.
Well, yeah.
Just thinking about characters yelling out phrases when they're doing their moves. I wish they'd do that for like some serious like Gears of War shit. Like Marcus just pops over and he's like, bullet, 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 grenade.
Bullet, 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 grenade.
I'd play that
Sounds
game.
like it would be
awesome. Actually,
that sounds like it would be a thrash metal song from like 2006.
Then he runs up to an enemy and he's like, chainsaw!
It's the same thing though, right? Like, yeah, like I don't understand. Somebody should make a game that I don't know. That'd be interesting. It would annoy you though after the
100%, but I'd laugh my ass off for the first 10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Anything else?
That was it?
No, I was just waiting for y'all to finish.
He's waiting for you to shut the fuck up.
Right, shut the fuck up. Yeah, I got you, Brian.
No, I just didn't want to step on over anybody. No, that's it. That's all other than Ass Creed.
All right. I have a couple things I can talk about. I checked out the T-1000 in Mortal Kombat. That might be the best character they've put in that game.
Oh, that's cool.
He's really fun to play. Although the internet lying to me. Like, I looked up the second fatality and tried to do it, and it just never worked. I was getting mad.
Wait, I thought you had to unlock their
You don't have to unlock it if you know the move.
Oh,
it just sucks
nice.
having to look it up every fucking time you want to do it.
Oh, so it doesn't like the first time you put it in, it's just like, gives it to you?
No.
It pops up the...
Nope.
That sucks.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah,
so
if
you do
you
it,
should just unlock that.
No, if you do it, like, it doesn't put it in the menu, which pisses me off. Like, no, you gotta grind this motherfucker for 10 hours to unlock Fatality 2. Like, fuck off. But his the one that I did do is a callback to the truck and the what the fuck you call it? Like the sewerway. Oh, it's cool as shit.
I think I saw that one.
Man, he is such a fun character to play. He's got a little Fulgore in him. He's got a little Glacius in him. Like, he is fun to play. I think I got to play that Kiniku Neku Super Muscle Cat game.
Yeah.
And you loved it.
Bro.
You was like, it was great.
No, it plays like shit. It's not very fun. But it is fucked up.
Oh.
Dude, it's got a full-on, like, anime intro with some wild-ass music. The checkpoints are litter pans that you take a shit in.
Well, that's a choice.
This game,
right?
This game is something, man. It's just a side-scrolling platform where you collect stars and punch things. Dude, it's fucked up. It might be one of the most fucked up things I played.
And that's why you don't make a game based around one single joke. Like, haha, isn't it funny that this guy says all the moves he's gonna do, like shoot gun?
Yeah.
I'd play that. They also had the...
You also just played the litter box fucking cat shitting game, and you said it wasn't very good, so I think that speaks volumes.
Yeah, I said I'd play it. I didn't say I'd enjoy it. There's a difference.
Well, you got me there, don't you?
Yeah. They also had a free trial this weekend, well, an early trial this weekend for the new Overwatch hero. So I played a little bit of that. She is very interesting. I don't know how I feel. Like, her abilities are all movement, so that's interesting. That's a choice, but she seems very powerful.
Wait, what? Her abilities are all
like...
yeah.
So like
one
of her abilities is like she jumps straight up, like a big jump, like think the Pharah boost. And then her other ability is she has 2 dashes that are on cooldown. So those are the abilities. She has a crossbow as a weapon, and if you hold the left trigger to charge it, it explodes upon impact. It will also allow you to like slow down in midair if you charge it in midair. Her shots are very powerful, and they move very fast. Think Hanzo's bow, but with no arc.
Oh, she a expert player. Okay.
Yes, she's very much
She's
like
not
a skill,
person.
very high skill ceiling player.
Yeah.
And then her ultimate is basically a bola that like wraps people up and then explodes. She seems interesting. I will be interested to see how she plays once she goes into competitive. She's only in quick play right now, and then they're going to take her out, and then I think she probably launches it next season. So, and then the 6v6 comp is in there. That is a different game. Like, I don't care what anybody says. That is a different... Those games are so fast and so chaotic. It is so much fun. Man.
Is that where you're going to spend your time now?
That's where I spend most of my time, although I don't play it 100% of the time because when you're... this is not a humble brag or anything, but when you're like the high rank that I'm in, you play with a lot of the same people, so you can kind of get into a queue of people that like you're playing with the same people, and if you're playing with bad people, then you start to get on a losing streak.
Got you.
So
I understand.
I usually pop in for about 3 or 4 games in there. If it's going well, I stay. But if it's going bad, then I gotta go play something else because those high level games are stressful. Like, and I mean, 6v6 is chaos. They've limited it so you can only have 2 tanks total. But every other role is completely open. But you can't have more than 2 tanks. And most games have 2 tanks. It splits between support and DPS is what other people play, but we almost always have 2 tanks. I think I played 1 game where we only had 1 tank. But I think that's where this game should go. Because it's chaotic, it's fun, it's fast, the perks make it really interesting. Like it's fun to play tank again because you're not the only tank. So
well, and it's what their direct competition is doing now, so that's another reason to put it
well,
back.
I mean, it's what they did when they started. They should have never changed it.
Not arguing that at all, sir.
Should have left it fucking 6v6. The 5v5 format.
I think that's what the effect of a Marvel Rival showed them, is that, oh, damn, wait, we probably should have just. I mean, because there's still a lot of, team building that you can do with the 6 if you don't want to have 2 tanks or whatever. Y'all can, But I'm happy that they're putting it back. And it's awesome that they're not going to get rid of the other one. They're going to give y'all a choice. So they're just going to run 2 comp brackets. Is that what it is? So you'll have like a 5.
Well, you've got roll queue and then 6v6 open. I don't know if 6v6 is staying. It better.
I thought it was.
I don't know.
Okay.
We'll see. They're obviously going to see how many people are playing it. So.
Gotcha.
Because they've replaced open queue with 6v6. So.
All right. I thought this was like, it's like grand, you know what I mean? Like coming out, like it was, permanent edition type of game.
Unfortunately not yet. We'll see.
Okay.
And then I played, I'm not even going to talk about this much, but I did play like an hour of the new Xenoblade Chronicles X. Man, Nintendo first party shit just hits different. It just does. Like that game running on, what is it now? 8-year-old hardware. Still looks pretty good and runs okay. Like, it's crazy.
Are those games? I've never played. Well,
they're like single player MMOs.
Oh, huh. Okay.
It's got MMO combat and it's got a very deep and long story. Like,
so the like World of Warcraft, like
kind of. You can do think more Final Fantasy 14, where you can pick abilities to also do while you're doing it. You can switch between melee and range weapons, kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It's good. It's really good. So, and I think that's it. Besides the Ass Creed, so we can talk about Ass Creed now. Yeah, we've spent a little time before Ass Creed, 40 minutes. That's fine.
Just a little time for the Ass Creed.
I
loved Ass Creed.
It's a great game.
I reviewed it, so I'm not gonna. I'm interested to hear from y'all, honestly, that have played it, and I think I am probably the furthest of everybody.
I literally I'm like 3 or 4 hours past when you get the second character.
Gotcha. Okay. So, but yeah, I absolutely love it. Like, as I've talked about on here before, Odyssey has been my favorite for a very, very long time. And I think this has just edged Odyssey out. Like, I love Cassandra. This will always be my baby, but Naue is, I don't know. The story is so good here. I had to pull myself away from doing a lot of the side quests and because there is a lot of side content, to focus on the story for the review. But just the different layers and stuff that I can't talk about some of it because it's spoilers, but this game has a lot and it's really good. They did a damn good job with this, but please go ahead. I want to hear other people. What y'all, where y'all at? or not, I guess.
I was gonna say that.
Okay, I'll just keep talking. So it's got no.
Ryan has more history with the Assassin's Creed series than me.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. I the whole time I've been playing it, and I can't wait till you get further along because I do like hearing you talk about the Assassin's Creed because I am a fan as well, but you are, I think, a step above me. And you just have such an understanding about all this stuff. Like I enjoy hearing you talk about it. So yes, please, Ryan, what do you think so far where you are?
Wow. Y'all putting a lot
hyping him up.
Assassin's Creed,
this game is ass.
It is ass.
Assassin's Creed Shadows puts the ass in Assassin's Creed.
Right.
No, it's great. I've really enjoyed the time that I've spent with it. It definitely feels so. I put, I think, 125 hours in Valhalla. And this game feels like it could be a little bit bigger than that. Just based on what I've done so far and what I haven't done so far. I'm at this point about 11 hours in, and I just did my first, I'll call it, major story mission, I guess. I've just been running around the map, unlocking stuff and completing castles. They called them fortresses in the past games, but they had these areas where you have an encampment full of enemies, and you have to try to make your way through. In this game, you have like objectives that you have to complete within each one to unlock a treasure chest. The treasure chest is usually hidden at the top of the tower that you're going to want to climb anyway, so that you can unlock the map. And that's where I've spent a lot of my time. I will say that, and I know this is a me problem, not necessarily a game problem, because I tend to break games in this way. But I will say that the ability to kind of do that, just sneak into these castles, find the loot there, kind of breaks the loot system. Because you basically get legendary loot out of it almost every time. And it makes basically all the rest of the common loot you're going to get worthless, because your legendary loot after a very early part of the story can be upgraded basically up to your current level, as long as you have the materials to do it. So it does break the loot system a little bit to unlock that stuff early. Because I pick up common loot now, and I'm like, all this is fodder for me to break down. Yeah. Yep. But I'm not super far into the story yet. I'm because I've done so much side stuff. I really liked what I've played of the story. I was not a huge fan of Nawe's voice acting at first. It's grown on me.
English?
Yes,
yeah.
It's grown on me.
English off. I couldn't.
Yeah, I see. I've gone back and forth a couple times, and I had because they have what's called an immersive mode,
which is what I'm playing in.
Yeah, which basically puts the language in Portuguese or Japanese with English subtitles. And I've done both of those, and I liked the immersive mode. But at a certain point, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to switch it back to English for a little while. And her voice acting has grown on me. The Japanese voice acting, I think, is better. It's easy for me to say that because I don't understand the language. But
this is one of the few times where I will, because usually I'm the same way, where I go, I can't really understand the language. But there's a big difference between a cry out in pain for father in Japanese and a father.
No, you're 100% right. That's why for most of the
do it, man.
Yeah, for most of the early cut scenes, I switched. I was in immersive,
and then as I've been running around the world, I switched it back over. But you're right. I think the Japanese voiceover definitely hits harder in the story sections, especially too. And this isn't a spoiler, but like right at one of the very first things that you do is you take control of Yasuke, and you're meeting with someone. I won't spoil the someone just in case. I'll spoil Yasuke because he's on the cover of the game. But they make a comment about how well, he doesn't speak Japanese, so you can feel free to talk in front of him. And then he basically says, "No, I speak the language." And in English, it's nonsensical because
see, I don't have an issue with that.
They say in English in front of him, he doesn't speak the language, it's fine. And then he responds in English, "No, yeah, I speak the language, it's fine." Mm-hmm. After they've been talking English the entire time. So
no, I thought they were talking Portuguese to him. Well, I mean, yeah. So if because when they were walking, they speak Portuguese.
Right. Yes.
Well, because it's a little bit weird. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're right.
They speak Portuguese. Yasuke speaks both.
If they're speaking Portuguese to each other, it's English. If they're walking around Japanese people who are speaking Japanese, now Japanese is English and they're speaking Portuguese to each other.
Well, yeah, the point is, that he's trying to say to the person he's talking to who speaks in Japanese, it's fine, he doesn't speak, or you could speak to him, but he doesn't speak Japanese. And Yasuke basically says, "I do speak Japanese," right after, and they're all talking in English the whole time.
Yeah, it is funny.
I switched it to immersive and replayed that scene, and it's obviously much better when he goes from, they go from transition from speaking Portuguese to Japanese, and then make the point that he can't speak Japanese, and he does anyway. But yeah, I think the little I've heard, I do think Yasuke's voice actor in English is good. I haven't heard him very much though, so we'll see how it goes once I get a little deeper in. I'm curious to see if anybody else has run into some strange glitches. Like I was sneaking around in a castle the other day, and not really doing anything, just like sneaking along the rooftops doing what I'll call the recon portion, where I'm in eagle mode and or eagle vision and crouch down and marking enemies as I walk along. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the game is like, "Desynchronized, you killed too many innocents," and it killed me, basically. And I hadn't even done anything. I'm just walking along a rooftop. So I'm not sure if somehow like an innocent ran into a fire or something on their own and the game blamed me for it. I'm not really sure, but I was just walking and the game desynchronized on me. And then I had an issue the other day where I got stuck in a wall, which was weird. I was crawling along and all of a sudden I started like bouncing up and down as I was crawling, and then I got stuck in a wall. So I have had some of that, not enough to really distract from the experience, but some stuff that I hope maybe they'll find a way to patch.
It's funny because like I feel like you run into glitches in every game. I've had zero glitches in this game.
That's the other thing is too, and I recognize that I don't stick to the just stick to the path, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm running around probably in places that, like earlier today, I found there's this I can't remember what it's called, Path of Virtue or something, where it's almost like a
test.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've
done a couple of those.
Yeah. Well, I dropped into one. I had been basically just climbing through the woods, and I dropped into one right next to the treasure chest. So I dropped into it, and it popped up and said "Path of Virtue" or whatever. Find the treasure chest, and I literally had dropped in right next to the treasure.
Nice.
Yeah. So I just opened the treasure chest, and it was like "Path of Virtue complete."
It's
That's
funny.
funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
that was good.
Earlier, you mentioned about the
I
treasure.
know the exact space. By the way, I know the exact one. You
I
enter.
did the whole thing. Yeah, I know what it's.
So what happened was you entered from the west side, right?
I'm sure that's probably right. Yes.
Yeah, and then at the end of the trail, there's a synchronization point.
Maybe, I don't know.
Because if you do it the proper way, you go
there
from the
is.
sync
Yeah.
point all the way to the end.
That's right.
I went
You're
up
exactly
around
right.
the way at the end and was like,
Yep.
okay.
Yep, you're
All right,
exactly
got it.
right. That's what happened.
Now, to go back to something you said earlier about the loot breaking, when you sneak into a castle, does it not require you to kill the daimyos before
It
you can
does,
even
yeah.
open the box? Okay, I just want to make
Yeah,
sure.
it's just
I
the
thought you were
main
just sneaking
box.
to the box.
No. Even if you get to the box, it'll tell you, defeat the daimyos to unlock.
Yeah, that's why,
Yeah.
because I snuck up to the box the first time I did it. I was like, I'm just going to steal the loot. And it's like, nope, you can't have it.
Nope. Yeah, you can't
I
do
think
that.
he's talking about Ryan's talking about more because what you're talking about is like the main loot in the castle that like your spies.
The one
can
that's up
steal
in the
and
top,
take back to your base
like
building.
in the attic or whatever.
Yeah. There's those boxes for. So okay. So there's different kinds of loot. So there's the locked doors where you have to kill.
You gotta get the
or find
keys
somebody with the keys
for the storage. Yeah.
that open the storage where you can steal the stuff for your base building and all that shit. Then there's the daimyo or daimyo, whatever chest where you have to kill all those guys and you got to find that chest and open it. And then there's just the scattered boxes, the little gold boxes that can give you random shit like weapons or armor and whatever. So I think Ryan was talking about the loot breaking when he's like finding the rare gear in those random boxes, and probably even in those big ones, the ones where you kill the daimyos.
That's the one I'm finding. Yeah, the ones where you kill the daimyos. I'm killing the daimyos and getting the big treasure chests out of each of the castles.
Got you.
And almost all of those have legendary loot.
Well, I'm going to tell you that it's not breaking it, and I can't really spoil it or can't really explain more than that. But once you progress. It's not breaking it. You're good.
Okay.
You'll be good. Right. So, I mean, obviously keep those items. You may want to go back to them, but it definitely will help you early on. But yeah, you'll be good. It'll all come together.
I feel, I don't know, man. Maybe this is a hot take. I just feel like Assassin's Creed should get rid of the loot. I don't find it interesting. Like, I get a sword, I'm like, does this do more damage? Cool, I'll take it. Like,
and that's typically how I was playing it. I like the Mirage take of Assassin's Creed 1, 2, and 3 before they injected all of the RPG stuff.
Before they tried to make it The Witcher.
Why? Yeah, right, exactly. Like it didn't need all the extra RPG levels and all this. Like that's cool, but like because I really don't chase the loot and stuff. Like
I don't either.
If the numbers are higher, then I'm on it.
Yeah, I get so many weapons from like doing quests and killing certain people, and it's like when I see a chest, I'm like, I don't really care.
Yeah, I don't go after a whole lot of chests, because of that. Because I'm like, well, I know I'm going to get something better if I complete this. You know what I mean?
There's so much of
finding all of that stuff is part of the fun of the game for me. So
yeah, if you're into that, I totally get it.
I enjoy the hide and seek part of it. Not as much as everything else, but it is a part of it that I really enjoy.
I feel like a lot of times
I appreciate. No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was to say I just feel like a lot of times like I'm changing my weapon and armor so often that like I don't ever actually get to enjoy what I have, and I just feel like it's excessive at a point.
I definitely see that point. I appreciate both versions of Assassin's Creed, which is why I like that they're doing both versions of Assassin's Creed now. I appreciate them for different reasons, right? But I'm glad that they've started doing, both, having the smaller scale games like Mirage, and the bigger RPG style games like this one. Because again, I think they do both. I think they do different things well in each. But again, I recognize that these games aren't for everybody. So,
well, I love this one. I love mostly because of the story the characters. I think the combat is. I see a lot of people complaining about the combat being like mediocre. I find it fun. Maybe it's because it's a lot like Valhalla's combat where it's very visceral.
Mm-hmm.
So like it feels good to take people down, especially when you do something really cool. And some of the weapons that you get, like I really love. I don't know what they're called. I apologize. The like sickle with the ball chain at the end of it, like.
Yuraga.
Yeah.
It starts with a K. Yes.
That thing
I love that
is so fun to use in a fight.
Yeah.
But it's also really satisfying just to use your katana as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what I love about this game. One thing I don't like about this game, it's Rage 2 all over again, where if you want to go somewhere, you gotta take the fucking road.
Yeah, there's no reason, and I'll put this in a review, for you to ever leave the road, for real. Ryan is over here falling into exits in the jungle because he's left the road.
I just wander through the woods, man.
Yeah,
like,
there's literally nothing out there half the time.
There will come a point
where
you will not be able to
fall right onto a treasure chest.
Right, like you get lucky, but yeah.
Yeah, but for me that doesn't do anything because I'm like, oh, this is some loot I ain't gonna use in 20 minutes, so whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, that and then because you have to stay on the road, it always aggravated me that the roads are so populated and people don't move. I'm riding a horse full speed. I got somewhere to go
on a road that's 2 feet wide.
A rock. Yeah. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with you, boy? Move.
Yeah, and the road is 2 feet wide, and the horse doesn't auto follow the road, which drives me crazy. And half the time, the horse
can auto follow the road. Can't you?
What?
No,
they took that out.
Auto follow the road?
No.
Nope. They took it out. You can auto run if you double tap A, but it does not follow the road. It's just going to go straight, whatever direction.
Even if you have Pathfinder on?
Yeah, no, Pathfinder just shows you a line. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to follow it, man. They took that out for some reason.
And half the time the horse...
I don't know why.
You can tell how often I'm on the horse.
Yeah, like half the time the horse will do like a 360 when it tries to go around a tight corner.
Yep.
I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And then like it won't go in certain areas, so it'll stop and turn around. It's like... Okay, so now I gotta walk through this area. Okay.
When you're like riding up the different paths, going to some of the temples and stuff, like there'll be like areas that's only high enough for a person to crawl through and your horse or walk through. So you have to get off the horse to walk through that. Then you could resummon your horse and get back on it and continue your ride. It's man.
I just wish there was.
The game though.
No, I love the game. I just wish that
y'all be talking about how I complain about stuff and then say they're great.
Oh no, because this is going to be my one of that. Well, I was on Team U, but with the whole Dragon Age thing.
I'm mostly aiming that at Ken.
This is going to be mine. I
hate this game. Number 7.
Listen, I love this game. And I know that as a colored man, I'm supposed to be like, oh my God, we got some representation of Yasuke is just great. I love him. I don't like playing as Yasuke.
I don't like playing. The first time he fell off a roof, I was like, nope.
Oh my God, it's so funny when you try to do the little leap of faith with him.
The Assassin's Creed stuff.
Yeah, he's and I mean and I love it. Really, what it boils down to is choice, right? So the game gives you: do you want the traditional Assassin's Creed experience where you're, stealthing on rooftops and using the hidden blade and stuff like that? Or do you want a more of a third person straight up kind of hack and slash thing where you're doing brutal assassinations where it's less about sneaking? He can sneak, but he cannot kill quietly. So everything he does is loud. Like when you're running and you're just normal running, this nigga will knock down a fence. I don't know if apparently ancient Japan, they thought all niggas was the Hulk. Like they just thought black people were super powerful, but I don't know how this man is knocking down fences and stone bear and stone.
They portray him like he is literally like a giant of mythical proportions. Like he just runs through everything.
It's like a locked door. If the door is locked,
just run at it. Just run at it.
I don't know.
He don't give a fuck. Like,
I don't know about history, but I feel like he would be giant to a bunch of Asian people.
I do think so, and that was one of the things that I thought was really cool. And a lot of people is not going to like this, but when you play as him, and I was really hoping you all had gotten to experience it so you could speak on it. But one of the cool things is that he is So you hear people whispering about him. Oh, hey, that's such and so's samurai over there. Oh, look at his skin. I mean, because these people, they had never seen a black person before. I mean, if you read the
they
history
all
books,
have like
Nobunaga
facial
had him
expressions and stuff.
Yeah, like they're surprised by him, and then he's renowned by some accomplishments and stuff that he's known. So they'll whisper like different deeds, that he's it's really cool. And I would imagine that's how that probably went. You know what I mean? They're like, oh my god, who is that? Why did
there is another mechanic of his that I absolutely despise.
Which one?
If you do too much in an area. Too much bad stuff.
Yeah, the wanted thing.
Yeah, fuck that. Like I immediately come on, man. And then you got to pay to get rid.
To be fair, it happens to her too, but
it's never happened with me with her. Like
the wanted thing is actually been in Assassin's Creed for a while.
No, I know it was in like Odyssey with like the bounty hunters hunting you down and stuff.
It was in Mirage too. You had wanted posters that you could take down, and you would have like the police, for lack of a better term, the guards and whatever looking for you.
God.
So you would have
the
to find so you'd have to find the wanted posters and tear them down.
Yeah, like the first mission I did when I got control of him immediately was wanted, and I had to like run and jump off a cliff.
Yeah,
I think that's racism.
Man, just got in the game. Already got the law after him. Look at that. You're so yeah. The wanted thing happens to both, and it sucks. So I think what triggers it, because it doesn't happen in every area. It's when you go into like the super big castles where they have like a commander or something, and they have like because later in the game you'll start to get places that have warning bells, can't think of the word, that you can sabotage so they can't alert people. But if they do that, you become wanted in that area. So everybody is like looking for you. You can't stealth out of it. So, but yeah, it happens to both, and it does suck because you got to pay, or I usually just end up dying and then reloading the save because that's usually just easier.
Man, I will say this though about this game is fucking beautiful.
Yeah, it's very
absolutely
pretty.
Like
I've taken so many pictures.
Jesus
so many
Christ,
vistas.
Dude, the fucking snow melts.
The snow.
Yeah,
oh my god. Yeah. And so when I first got it, when I was reviewing it, the snow was bugged. Like the whole winter season never actually popped.
It didn't happen.
And then they patched it. Yeah. And the first, oh my god, it was so gorgeous. Like riding through the snow, and then it melts realistically, like off your horse and even off your person when you ride it. And then if you notice, like you get dirty and stuff as you're playing, as you're rolling around and stuff. And then the whole being able to go prone, so you can crawl on your belly, and you can also dodge like that. So you can dodge backwards, you can roll as you're prone and stuff. They added so much like to the mobility that really helped. And this is all, I think Yasuke can do that stuff too, but it doesn't necessarily really help him, because if you're playing as him, you shouldn't be stealth. Like he literally is a bull in a china shop.
I was gonna say that man can't hide in a bush. What are you talking about?
No, you should just get out there and just fuck shit up. Like that's what he's But the added mobility for doing it kind of like the traditional Assassin's Creed way is super cool. But the whole choice thing, the story, it doesn't. You're not going to miss anything if you decide to tackle a mission using one character versus the other.
There are some missions that are required though. For
the people, yes.
Yeah, for the character. The people like when you get there, it's like this is something Yasuke would be interested in.
Yes.
Yep.
But then as you play out like the different, because there's I won't go deep in the story because this story is very big. But there's a main adversary, group that you're chasing, and as you tackle those, you don't have to play as one versus the other, even though there are decisions that can be made. It just happens in the cutscene. Like they adapt everything, so it doesn't matter. Basically, like you're still going to get the same outcome, kind of thing. So if you want to do it, just straight up action and just play as Yasuke all throughout, you're going to see the same story beats as you would if you did it as Naoe. But then they each have their own separate journeys too. which is
They
huge
have their
spoiler
own.
stuff.
They have their own
that,
board that like here's the things this character has to do.
The board is huge. There's so much stuff.
I feel like it gets
big.
added to like every fucking 30 seconds, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I don't have any
Yep.
more.
Every time I go back to it, I'm like, dang, I didn't even know because all of your side quests will be there too. So as you run into various people around the world in different villages, you'll have like the people of this place and the people of this place, and they'll each have a separate section on there where you're doing stuff. And a lot of it can be done just as like normal playing the game. Like it might be, they want you to help rid the land of some Ronin, so you kill 5 Ronin or something like that.
Some
like
shit
that.
changes immediately when you get Yasuke. And that's why I understand why Terrence was like, I hope you guys make it to that point, because it changes the dynamic of the story.
Yes.
So I intend to play this game to completion, so I will definitely make it there.
Yeah.
When I make it there is
when you make it there, like that cutscene is so long and so interesting, and like it totally changes the dynamic of the game, and you're like, oh, okay.
And I feel like it's at that point that the real game kind of begins, because it's wild. Like it's really this story is so good. Like they did a really good job.
And man, so one thing that I think is like underrated is sometimes they'll use modern music.
Yes,
and it fucking works.
Yeah, like a rock guitar and stuff. Yes, I agree.
Like that scene where they roll up on you in the beginning.
Yes,
at the nighttime, I was like, dude, that's fucking rad.
Yup, and that they do that throughout. And what's interesting is the music and stuff changes based on if you're playing Naoe or Yasuke.
Oh, so Yasuke has one in a flashback that I was like, whoa, okay.
They cooked with this, man.
Yeah.
This is so the voice acting.
This is the worst game ever, and I understand.
Yeah, 100%.
All the grifters on the internet were right.
Grums was 100% right, and we are, boycotting and all that. No, fuck that guy. No, let's go back to the voice acting. So I honestly didn't think too much about this because we had kind of briefly talked about it before, because Anthony had brought attention like, damn, this one of his voices now is not really great. And I was like, it's not bad. But then after he said that, fucking Anthony, I'm playing the game and I'm like, oh, damn, she really is not that.
You hear that?
God.
You hear that?
Oh,
you hear that?
What is that?
Sounds like fucking rain.
Anyway,
I think she's
I will say, she gets better. And hearing Ryan say that, I was like, okay, I'm not crazy. It does. So she does get better. And I think that there's a reason why, especially where y'all are as to where I am, why her performance is what it is.
It doesn't sound like someone... So when I first heard it and I looked up the actress, and again, I don't blame necessarily even the actor. I think it was direction and stuff like that.
I think it was too, yeah.
However, when I first heard it, I said, okay, so they've got in my head, because again, I had this pre-release, so I don't have the credits in front of me. And I tried to look them up to see if they had names of people who were playing the main characters in Japanese. And I don't. So I assume maybe it was the same person. Because that I could understand, where it was like, okay, so like they're doing another language, they're doing their best, right? But no, this person like speaks English, so it's a direction problem.
That's so
because essentially, like what I was thinking was like, if you had the same actors voice the lines in both languages, I could totally understand how you would have maybe stiff acting. Wouldn't be the first time in video games where that was clearly the case.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how it's the, and I already did the joke, but it's like the response to trauma was so not impactful that I'm like, I can't do this, because something that seems off, and it's not. There's another female main character that you meet early on. The main character, and I guess the other characters to some extent, they sound modern. they don't like with the way they're presenting lines, which is not the case with some of the male characters. Like Yasuke is supposed and the oh god, where are they from again?
Portugal.
Yeah, the Portuguese people, they
Jesuits
are people out of place. So like when you're hearing their Japanese English, if it was stiff, it would be like make sense. You know what I mean? But it wasn't that case either. So it was just a very weird direction to take it. So I've just turned on immersive mode, and I haven't had that issue where it feels like, okay, this performance, and again, I know I don't speak the language, this performance seems wrong.
No. Well, go ahead.
Like, it's just not an issue I've had with other Assassin's Creeds either. Like, my favorite from the current style of gameplay, because it's the one I stuck with and actually finished, is Origins. And not once did I feel that any character in that game was like, oh, what the fuck was that? And so, like, to feel that with the main character, it's a little hard for me to stay with the English voice acting. Even if it gets better, it's like, yeah.
So what would be the language track in the Origins, though?
Well,
what were they speaking back then?
Well, it would have been, it would have been
They
Egyptian,
were speaking Egyptian, and Greek.
But they didn't have that option.
It was all in English.
I'm talking about the English in that particular scenario, where it's like none of those characters felt stiff in English. Which is not a common issue I have even with most RPG. Like, I played Yakuza Like a Dragon in Japanese, just because I had already played so many Yakuza games in Japanese. It didn't make sense for me to switch to English, even though the voice acting in the Like a Dragon game is good. So I just stayed with Japanese there. But usually I do leave it in English. I just couldn't with this game.
I'm sorry. I just was thinking that's correct because this has a Japanese voice. Why wasn't there an Egyptian voice option for Origins, or was there Greek voices in Odyssey? I didn't even look.
So.
It did the thing that this game also does sometimes, where some of the characters will slip in. They basically slip in and out of they'll utter phrases or whatever in their natural language. But the rest of the game is in English.
Well,
so like you would get phrases and stuff from Bayek and from Cassandra in their native language, but
I remember like
the game was in English
and Malacca. I got you. So what's interesting about, and Anthony kind of talked about this, where they have native speaking Japanese people who then are doing the English, voiceover as well. They do that in this, and it's very much apparent. It's just not with the main characters. So you'll have some terrible voice acting like, welcome to shop. I have items to, but then you listen to it in the Japanese and it's like, oh my God, wow, that's way more natural. Like I did go back and forth to kind of test that. But you're right. It's the main characters, at least these two, Naoe and, Yasuke is more, he actually is fine. I think, voice wise, but even the characters that you're going to meet, in the story, they're Japanese actors are also doing their English voiceovers, which is cool. And some of the performances in English are, some of them is kind of stiff, like you were saying, and I just can attribute that to it's not their first language. For me, I've always been a dub over sub, even with the animes. I don't want to have to read what I'm watching because I feel like I'm now diverting my eyes from the action.
I also don't understand, like, I don't speak the language, so I don't know if they suck at voice acting anyway.
Yes.
Then there's that too.
Like, it sounds cooler to you because you don't understand it, but like they could be terrible actors. You don't know.
Yeah, that was the point I made earlier. I have no idea if the Japanese is actually better because I don't speak the language, but it sounds better.
Yeah, it sounds better because you don't understand it. It's like, well, that sounds better. It's probably better.
It sounds better because I can tell you that the English voice acting was bad, and that's the difference. It's not. I'm not the person. I played Final Fantasy 15 in English. A lot of people would say that was blasphemy, and I should have done it in Japanese. But I liked the English voice actors just fine. I am usually the person on the side of, hey.
Those people also have body pillows that you don't want to touch.
Yeah, well, I don't stand for a reason. They also don't wear deodorant.
Ew.
Yeah. In this particular case, though, a very stiff performance in the sequences where, and I'm not spoiling anything for the game. Welcome to Assassin's Creed. Unless you're playing the first game, you're going to watch someone slowly turn into a murder machine. To have the characterization be stiff early on doesn't make sense. That would make sense later on as they slowly become worn down to the sight of blood and all that stuff. But this was not the case. And so it was very rough to hear someone who is supposed to be in like emotional and physical pain called out with a stiff sort of delivery. And again, I'm not blaming the actress. I'm blaming the direction of it, because I understand that the direction may have been poor. Like, it's someone's fault. I don't know who it is, but it was bad. And so the parts that resonate on a human level, the emotional part, not the actual acting necessarily, is what didn't work for me in English, which does work in Japanese. I can tell when someone's upset. I don't need to know the language, you know what I mean? So it's like crying is crying. There's some universality, whatever the fucking word I'm looking for, universalness to those emotions that I did not feel with the main character in the English dub. So I switched to the immersive version, and I have not had that issue since. And it's only one performance for the most part. Everybody else, it sort of made sense with. I didn't have too many issues with other people, although I didn't go through the full game. That is my main complaint. And it's not a complaint I can say, even though I didn't love Odyssey as much as everybody else, and I didn't play through it all. Immediately, I was attracted to both characters for their accent. Like, I did try with both characters.
Oh man, I gotta tell you, I started Odyssey with the male character and had to quit and start over
one
again.
Is much better. One
the
is
voice
much better.
acting was so bad.
What is it, Alexios?
Alexios, that's his name. Yeah.
He's rougher, but I still bought that as a character and not a person voice acting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, Alexios sucks. Not, this voice acting's bad. This is taking me out of it.
Yeah, I don't. I have gotten used to her voice acting at this point, so it doesn't really bother me anymore. But I agree with you at the beginning. I did not think it was great.
I'm at the point where it's like I'm used to the Japanese voice, so I'm just gonna stay with it. So I don't mind reading the subtitles. Again, all of Yakuza, you do that. I mean, most of Yakuza at one point wasn't voiced, so you just kind of get used to reading in general. So I don't have an issue with that. I haven't, again, outside of that, like, I haven't much to say in terms of negatives. This is the most assassin-y Assassin's Creed game, if that makes sense.
Assassin-y?
Yes, as in, I feel like I'm playing as someone who is an assassin who sneaks around and stuff. Obviously not as Yasuke.
Yeah, it's definitely the most natural fit for the assassin piece of this in a while.
Tenchu-ish type shit for all those that are looking for a Tenchu game. Like, the fucking grappling hook kicks ass.
Where'd he go?
I miss Tenchu.
Well, this is the best you got.
This is the best you get.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot to do. I'm very impressed with all of it. it's never going to recapture the magic, in my opinion, that was Origins, because this is no spoilers, the sci-fi element that has been consistent through all of the Assassin's Creed, I think, peaked in Origins. I think that was the most compelling part of that game. Was wow.
Did you finish?
Okay.
Did you finish Valhalla?
No, I did not.
Okay, because I disagree with you.
Valhalla.
Yeah,
let me rephrase that. Spoilers for Origins potentially. The things under the desert, and the messages that are sent, and are clearly, that stuff to me made me go, and the fact that it does weird anomaly things in the past that you're reliving, like that Bayek actually went through, those are extremely interesting to me as a fan that has played on and off the games throughout its release. And I know that all the bullshit that I just complained about could be like, well, Altair didn't have an accent when he went through, and it's like, all right, I get it. Like, whatever makes you want to play the game, because at the end of the day, that, like, all my complaints about the language and stuff like that, and this game, I prefer Origins and all that stuff. This game's still fucking amazing. I find it funny that people have gunned for this game in such a way that it's a really good game. You're gonna fucking remove your ability to play it because you don't like that there's a black guy in it, or that it's somehow offensive to Japanese people, or whatever reason you want to make up. Because even the Japanese government, and I'm sure it'd be in news, so I'll just say it now, their main complaint was, hey, these are real shrines and you can deface them. And knowing their history with, Western tourists, I get it.
Oh yeah, and they have now removed the ability to deface the shrines in the game. Yeah.
Good. Makes sense to me.
All right.
So I think this game is fantastic. There's not much to add on that front. It's amazing how being able to go prone changes.
Right? So much. Like, so many options, because you can go prone. Like, it's crazy.
Crawling under houses is really neat. There's just a lot of fucking cool shit in this game.
The fact that they basically completely for fan service added the ability to stab people with your sword through the doors.
Oh yeah.
Is awesome.
And Yasuke has
zero.
He has the Sparta kick. So that's
nice.
awesome. Yeah, they brought the Sparta kick back. And I mean, he sends them niggas flying too. Like, he really is depicted as the Incredible Hulk. Like, the first time I used it, and that little tiny man I was like, oh my god, is he dead? No, he got up. Okay,
that's how you know some of this is completely fictional, because I feel like there's a lot more writings about Yasuke, a big black man running through Japan, just kicking people off cliffs.
Just kicking the shit out of them.
Yeah, I feel like they would have made a little bigger deal of that at the time.
Right.
All right. That was a lot of Assassin's Creed. So we're going to move. We're going to move on, because I'm sure we'll be talking about that game for the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
Let's look at what's out this week. It's a surprisingly big week. We've got Atomfall, Breakout Beyond, Akatsuki, Lord of the Dawn, Blue Wednesday, Gal Guardian, Servants of the Dark. I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. It's a remaster, I believe.
Oh, I was going to say, is that a remake?
Yeah.
Yep.
It is.
Remaster, yeah. I think it's a Night Dive jam, I think.
Okay.
Karma, The Dark World, Kimono Heroes, Shadow of the Orient, Sports Renovations, because it's always good to renovate your sports. The First Berserker Kazan, Dollhouse Behind the Broken Mirror, and Star Leaping Story.
Oh, okay.
Looking at PlayStation 5. Goat Simulator Remastered. I'm assuming that's a disc version. AI limit. Care Bears Unlock the Magic. I, again, thought that was out. Hitman World of Assassination VR is out this week.
Looks pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, if I had a VR, maybe. But the rats are using it, so whatever. Kemco's RPG Selection Volume 1. That's exciting. Not really. Alright, and now I'll pull up the Nintendo Switch and see if we have any funny games here. Alice in Dinerland? That's kind of funny. Bubble Ghost Remake?
It's a remake?
Bubble Ghost Remake.
Alright.
Ooh. They're weird video games. What the fuck? Tayutama Kiss on My Deity?
I'm not going to address that.
Yep.
Bubble Ghost is a good Game Boy game.
Oh, let's see.
That's all I'm going to say.
There, he would know.
Kiss on My Deity.
Kiss on My Deity.
Yeah, I'm just going to plow through. Bubble Ghost, everybody. Remember Bubble Ghost and forget whatever Ken just said. Continue on.
Kiss on My Deity.
Kiss on My Deity from the back. From behind, sorry.
Alright, let's do some news, because whatever, man. I can't anymore. There's 2 new Sea of Thieves dynamic backgrounds on your Xbox console, so yay. Microsoft released a new adaptive joystick and adaptive thumbstick toppers. Those
Adaptive thumbstick toppers are actually pretty neat looking.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty cool idea.
Xbox mentioned the word Silk Song this week, which got people in a frenzy. They said, looking ahead, our lineup is incredible with upcoming games like Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, Descenders Next, and FBC Firebreak, and of course, Hollow Knight Silk Song. Whee!
They just love to get everybody all fired up.
I kept telling people, every time a Nintendo Direct would come up, they're like, this is Silk Song. I was like, Microsoft's got the marketing for that game, so you're not going to see it here. Sorry. South of Midnight has gone gold. Releases on April 8th. I'm really excited for this game. After playing like an hour of it, I'm really excited to play through this game.
I would think that should be soon for review, right?
I talked to him. We'll see. Maybe it's. I mean, yeah, it's got to be. What are we looking at? We're 2 weeks from Tuesday.
Yeah.
So, and then I think there's also an early version of that game, I think. Microsoft accidentally put out a mock-up of their UI from GDC and deleted it shortly after. Why? Because it had the word Steam on it. Interesting. But from what it seems like, it's just going to be like what GOG does now, where the Xbox app will show you where you own games everywhere else. So who cares? According to Windows Central, Win32 will be the preferred development environment for the next mainline Xbox console. With Xbox Series X and S era environment gradually phased out, it's currently unclear what this means for existing Xbox games. This is not something you want to hear about.
No.
Yeah, my next Xbox better play everything my current Xbox does, or f*** you. That's all I'm saying. You've pushed this agenda so long. You can't change this now.
I must have missed it. Do we think it's not going to?
Well, they're changing the environment, so it's not the one that the Series X and S runs on, which means they'd have to rewrite everything for the next console for your old games to work on it.
Oh, yeah, but I thought that was the case. Because I thought I read that, what you're reading too, but I thought it said something about they plan on focusing on backwards compatibility stuff or whatever, like all.
Yeah, but what happens when something doesn't work?
What happens when something doesn't work now?
It's all existing, is my point. Like, it's already there.
Okay.
Like if
All
you
right,
go
I
into
got
the
you.
next, let's say you go into the next generation and there's 50 games that don't work. Fuck that. Like
Mhm.
if you'd have just stayed on the same environment, we wouldn't have had this problem.
So kind of like
That
when
makes
like my stuff on 360 that I had digitally that doesn't work now, and I'm
Yeah.
on this one. So like now. So what you're saying is
No,
it's going to be exactly like now.
no, but you're misunderstanding the point. Is that they sold the idea that everything that would just work on Xbox. So, right, like Xbox One stuff all works on Xbox Series stuff.
Yeah.
And then you're going to change and you're going to cause that same problem again, even though your marketing has said otherwise.
Okay, so what I said the first time was correct. Why did we go down this rabbit hole?
I don't know, man.
They didn't say that going into
what
Xbox
you
One.
said.
They didn't say that going into Xbox One.
Yeah, they didn't say that.
Xbox
Okay,
3...
cool. I wasn't talking about that though. We didn't bring it up till later. I was saying to your point that I read that yes, that's what's happening, but the focus is on backwards compatibility stuff to ensure the scenario that you're describing is not happening. That's all I was adding to what you were saying. I wasn't dissuading the point and whatever else. I was just saying that yeah, they did say that, but they also are planning to keep your fear from coming true. So fingers crossed.
The thing that makes me worried is now it makes sense on why they were talking about AI.
Oh yeah, to make the games playable through AI.
Yeah.
So when you
It wasn't older
when
games,
you get like
it was just current games potentially.
when you get like 20 hours into a game and all of a sudden it just starts fucking going wild because it hasn't been tested that far into development.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, what happens when AI fucks stuff up?
Yeah,
Like,
you get about halfway through Assassin's
Fire
Creed.
the AI.
You get about halfway through Assassin's Creed Shadows, it turns into High on Life, and Ryan like has a fucking panic attack.
Oh God, he gonna lose his shit. Listen, he's gonna go burn down Ubisoft headquarters. He's flying to France. He go gas up my jet. What's your pilot's name? Lawrence. I'm gonna call him Lawrence. Gas up my jet, Lawrence. We're going to France.
Lawrence is great. Lawrence is that's a perfect pilot name.
PlayStation has formed a new studio called Dark Outlaw Games, led by Call of Duty Zombies lead and former Treyarch co-head Jason Blundell. Okay.
Cool. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, PlayStation.
Wait, is it just PlayStation? Is that
yeah,
what you said?
it's a first-party PlayStation studio.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Last of Us Part 2 gets a new update alongside the PC release on April 3rd. I thought this thing had been out for months.
What is this? The
Last of Us
remaster?
Part 2.
Oh, I thought that was out. Wow. Okay.
It's including 4 new no return maps and 2 playable. I don't even know what no return is. Sorry.
I don't either. Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
4 new Super Nintendo games are coming to Nintendo Switch Online on March 28th. These include Nobunaga's Ambition, The Lord of Darkness, Romance of the Three Kingdoms 4, Wall of Fire, and Uncharted Water, New Horizons. Boy, we're really into the quality bucket now, it seems.
Those 2 games is only a drop in the bucket, a mere shadow of Nobunaga's true ambition. Let me tell you.
I mean, the man had a lot of ambition. Let's just be real for a minute. Because there are if you go and to a shmemulation site and just type in Nobunaga, you're gonna get 637 results.
Yeah,
you don't want to know about that man's ambition.
I'll make a point.
I was trying to find the image I did a couple years ago where we, after the podcast, where we decided that his true ambition was to move to New York and be a dancer. But I could not find the image.
He lived to the age of 47.
I mean, he had a lot of ambition packed into those 47 years.
That series probably has been going on longer than he was alive.
Probably, yeah.
Definitely, crazy. It's possible that it has, yeah.
All right, moving on. Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition has a hidden 60 frames per second mode. I wonder why. Silent Hill F was rated by the ESRB, got rated in South Korea. I also saw today that it's now banned in Australia.
That's they named that game after my reaction every time they announce a Silent Hill game.
Silent Hill F.
F.
Uh,
there's a new game coming out. Oh, it's Silent Hill F.
F. Atelier Yumiya is doing a collaboration with Tekken 8. Sure.
Yeah, but the collaboration is on the Atelier side, right? Not on the Tekken side. They're not adding one of the characters to Tekken.
Yeah, it's a free in-game item. They're not adding whichever Atelier lady this is to the game. They make like one of those games like every 2 or 3 years. It's always a different character, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never played it.
Yeah, except for like, I think the only one that's had like sequels is Ryza.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the one with the statues of the thighs?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I got you.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't want to know.
Weirdos.
No, you probably don't.
In terms of weeb shit, it's pretty tame.
It is
I'm
that.
sure. Listen,
What was that game when we used to work at GameStop that came out with the mouse pad? You remember that?
Yeah, it's Neptunia.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
But I loved Terrace's break into that. He's like, "What was that game?" Like a Masterpiece Theater. Terrace pauses. What was that game?
Class it up a little bit. Put a little bit of class in there.
Nico Derico, the Magical World Director's Cut, launches on April 15th and is a free upgrade for people who own the game. That game is pretty good. If you haven't played it.
What game?
What is it?
Nico Derico. It's a weird name, but it's like a Crash Bandicoot type game.
Okay.
It's actually really good. It is really good. Cairn adds a PS5 version. It's not coming to Xbox at launch. Shocker. Towerborn got its release date April 29th.
That is coming to Xbox.
Game preview. Because...
And game... I mean, it'll be in Game Pass, too, though.
Yeah, but... Can we stop?
I wish.
The early versions of this shit. Croc got its release date April 2nd. Fucking finally, that game was supposed to be out in December.
Yeah, I mean it's really terrible for Nintendo that their announcement's going to get derailed by the fact that Croc's coming out the same day.
I mean, yeah, one of
who's
them.
Who's going to pay attention to their press conference about the Switch 2 when
not me.
They're going to be playing Croc instead.
Yeah, I can play Croc. I can't play my Switch 2 yet.
True. Let me channel the angry video game nerd. Croc, more like Croc is shit.
Don't say that on this podcast. Ken will cut
Ken
your
will kick
face
me
off.
Ken will do everybody the favor and kick me off the podcast.
Motherfucker, everybody in here likes Croc. Don't lie. That game's great.
Yeah, that's true.
I do like Croc.
Argonaut is
and
great.
With team. with fixed controls, I'm very interested. Shame it's it's
what?
Only the first game, but whatever. It's a lot of money for the first game.
How much is it? I haven't seen a price. I honestly
isn't it like $30?
I have no clue. I honestly have no clue.
Good lord!
I haven't seen a price on it because it's not available to pre-order.
You know what? Maybe it was maybe I saw. Hold on, Croc remastered. I think maybe I was looking at a physical version pre-order.
I even looked at on GOG where you can like wish list it or whatever, but you can't. There's no price.
Hold on, let me see. Hold on.
Like you'd think they'd sort that out 2 weeks before release. Yeah.
You'd think.
Okay, so hold on here. Let me see this fucking. I'm trying to find the thing.
No, I just have the song stuck in my head.
The Croc song.
Okay, keep going because I'm gonna.
No, I'm gonna move on. Ark Survival Ascended's got DLC coming out called The Lost Colony.
Jesus Christ! Speaking of
Ark,
Ark.
I had to read it just because of that. We talked about I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. It is a night dive game.
It's a good game. I played that back in the day in my youth.
The original was
my
a
youth.
good game.
Yeah.
System Shock 2 Remaster got a release date June 26th.
Yay, I got that for free.
Not for free. You paid for it a long time ago.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Well, technically, I didn't. It was like a bonus thing. I did not expect a remaster of 2. I just wanted my remake of 1.
Bonus. There's a new Painkiller game coming later this year.
Jesus, speaking
I
of
saw that.
franchises I forgot all about.
Yeah.
There's only like really one decent Painkiller game. It's the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
I mean, that's still a good video game. What you talking about?
Yeah, it's just a choice to break. Like, who's clamoring for Painkiller?
I
Like, I mean,
play
it looks good.
I play it.
Well, it looks like your jam too.
Yeah,
for
that's my
like,
shit.
I mean,
you
liked it
answered
back
your
in
own
the day.
question.
I guess so. There you go. It's made for kid.
That's right.
Feels special.
Ruffy and the Riverside's got a release date June 26th, which is awesome. A game popped up on my radar this week called The Nightling launches August 28th. That game looks cool. Dave the Diver, Ichiban's Holiday got a release date April 10th.
Woo.
You can't play it on Xbox because Xbox
I
sucks.
know.
There's been a bunch of news that's happened since this list was up, so I'm going to start scrolling through here. Claire Obscure 33 has gone gold. Assassin's Creed Shadows has now surpassed 2 million players. They definitely used
Plus is putting in work.
They used the words players.
Yeah. See, I always pay attention to the words people say because that's where people get caught up and stuff. You gotta read that. It doesn't say sales, it says players. So again, like I said, that tells me a lot of niggas using Ubisoft Plus. I know people have bought it, sure, but I think a lot of those folks that are talking shit like Grums and them, they subscribed to Ubisoft Plus for the month. So
of course they did.
Because they was curious.
They all went out and bought
niggas.
it or subscribed so that they could play it and be like, this is woke as fuck.
Yeah. But then secretly be like, damn, this game is actually really good. I
he's
hate
over
I
there
gotta act like this.
living out his fantasy as a samurai.
Right.
Oddworld Anthology, The Unlikely Heroes Collection was rated in Australia. That could be interesting. Somebody posted a full playthrough of Until Dawn's 2013 prototype on PS3 that uses the Move controller.
Holy crap.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Minecraft Live announcement.
Hold on, before we move any further, what could possibly be part of that Oddworld collection that, you know what I mean, at this point?
I mean, you just put them all in there. Like, there's the problem.
You get a new game?
Well, the problem with the Oddworld stuff is that it's scattered. Like, Munch's Odyssey is available on a couple platforms, but not everything. Like,
okay, so if that's the one that they're including for the first time, cool.
Well, I'm just using it as an example.
Like 99 cents.
Strangers,
I got a
exactly. That's
fanatical.
Those games have been dirt cheap. I don't know. It just feels like another money grab off the Oddworld license instead of just making a new game.
Make it a new one, yeah.
Well, they made a new one. They did a new one a few
Yeah.
years ago. Yeah.
No,
I didn't play it. I'm guilty.
It was a remake, another remake.
Oh,
but still, like,
I thought it was new.
Still,
do we really need a new Oddworld game
already? Or finish the story that they wanted.
Maybe Strangers. Can we get a new Strangers? Because that game was dope. Did y'all play that one? Where you're the bounty hunter?
Somebody on this podcast didn't know the like spoiler in that game.
That's me.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, really?
I own that game. I have played it on multiple platforms and have never played it long enough to get to the big twist spoiler.
And you still don't know.
I actually own it on Steam Deck and and started playing through it again for the same reason and then never went back to it.
It's fucking crazy. It's like not knowing the spoiler to BioShock. It's like, whoa.
Right.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Which is that you were the big daddy all along.
I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
Minecraft Live announcements. There will be
Big Daddy is Adam Sandler.
Fucking right.
That's the spoiler for BioShock.
That is the
Oh. You just hear him whispering around the corner. Oh, I'm gonna get you. Like, oh.
There will be 2 Minecraft live shows each year. Bedrock Java in the future gets a visual update, including new pixelated shadows, improved water effects, and more. Happy Ghasts, you can fly on them, and movie content. Okay.
Put Jack Black in the game.
I mean, they already made a figure out of him. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's a choice.
Yeah.
It looks like Jack Black.
It's a choice.
A PC Game Pass version of Dragon Age the Veilguard appeared on the Microsoft Store. So, I mean, we all know that's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah. As you're listening to the show, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle will be announced for the PS5 release date. So,
cool.
Be excited.
I will not.
Don't lie. So I just saw this on Blue Sky. You know how we talked a couple weeks ago how Bam Margera wasn't going to be in Tony Hawk 3-4? Well, Tony Hawk found out about that, and he was not happy, and he made Activision fly Bam Margera out and get body scanned, and now he's in the game.
Oh.
Wow.
Good for Bam, I guess.
You're right. Huh.
Yeah. Anyway, I have some emails, and one of them is for Eeyore Kara, from Eeyore Kara. So, prepare yourselves. Hey yo, it's Eeyore Kara. Ken, for all these years, I didn't believe you when you said the matchups in Overwatch were broken. I just assumed that you were actually terrible at the game and would just complain on the show. However, you made it into the top 500, so I guess you're actually good. However, I'm quite upset at the rest of the crew, now as no one...
He paid his way into the top 500.
Yeah, I bought an account. Yeah, that's me. I spent 9 years and then bought an account.
Yep.
He says, however, I'm quite upset at the rest of the crew as no one asked the right question. Especially my boy Terrence. Terrence is my man, and I feel like we're on the same page.
Shit, what was his question?
I'm going to read this, and you're just going to have to deal with it. Why, oh why, when Ken announced on the show that he made the top 500, why didn't anyone ask? Ken, when you saw this achievement, did you have a wank? And how many times did you wank that day? Had to be at least 4 times that day.
No one's asking that because no one wants to know. There's nothing I want to know less in this world.
Shit. Listen, I don't know. No.
Terrence, are you on the same page?
No, I didn't want to know. I think I just assumed, like, when I saw it, and when I saw it, I was confused. Like I said last week, because you was like 426, and he was like, I just broke it to the top 500. I'm like, nigga, when I hear break in, you like 498, 426. You a good way into that bitch. Like, so I don't know. But no, I wasn't worried about your wanking habits. I'm sure you did. I'm sure it was.
Motherfucker, I'm almost 50. What do you...
What that mean?
I ain't got no time for that shit.
I ain't got time for that.
Anyway, I don't think you guys will believe me, but this actually happened to me today. So I got some stuff going on, and I had to get my prostate area scanned, ultrasound.
Oh man.
We're all getting to that age.
Yeah.
I've had that prostate exam.
As I got my junk out and person scanning halfway through, some random person opens the door and has a look, apologizes, walks out and shuts the door.
That's messed up.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Can you actually believe this happened? I did provide feedback to the clinic, but damn. Anyhow, the hell they put on the gel they put on your the gel they put on your balls is hot. What am I reading?
Listen, we're all men of a certain age. We understand we're going to have these same, checkups to make sure everything is good.
Game domain, video games, and prostate exams.
I mean, yeah, we're there. We're there, man. I wear bifocals. I don't know if I told anybody that. Like, my last set of glasses, I had to get bifocals. You know what? They fucking rule. I'm gonna tell you that.
I'm sure.
He says, actually, can I ask?
Every week you listen to this piece of shit while your balls get lubed. All right. No.
He says, can I ask some questions? Number one, do you think Switch 2 will have like a Mario Odyssey 2? I mean, it'll have a Mario.
It'll have a Mario, but
sure.
it's hard to fucking know. Would I like an Odyssey 2? Yes, I think Odyssey's my favorite Mario game of all time.
They don't do.
That being said,
they don't do.
There's only been one sequel. Ever been one sequel.
That's not true.
Galaxy
Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, 3. Hello.
No.
Okay.
To 3D Mario's genius.
Also,
I'm sorry. Let's think your fucking passive aggressiveness over there. It's with you.
No, you came at me with the you're dumb. Here's 1, 2, 3. They made a sequel. Yeah, they made New Super Mario Brothers 2 as well. Thanks.
Jesus Christ! Listen to this motherfucker over here. God damn.
But they didn't do a Super Mario.
You didn't even
64.
let me finish what I was going to say.
All right. Well,
they've never done sequels in 2 different generations. Galaxy 1 and 2 was within the Wii generation.
Yeah, within the Wii. Yeah, that's true.
So, I don't know if they count Switch 2 as a new generation. I would assume they would.
And even if it is, like, do they call it Odyssey 2? I would, if it plays like Odyssey, but I don't know. It's Nintendo, it's hard to fucking tell.
I want them to do the Bowser story, Dark Fury. Was it Dark Fury? Is that what it's the open world
Bowser's
one?
Fury. Bowser's Fury.
Yeah, I want them to do a full-on game like
I mean, that was very much sort of reworking of Odyssey, right? In a way.
Not really.
Without the possession mechanic. It was open world, you had different goals to reach. It just, unlike some of the weird stuff that you could do in Odyssey, it was like purely platforming.
The only problem I had with Odyssey, too many fucking moons. Like, I don't need a moon for falling on a coin. Like,
I like that shit.
Well, you not only that, but you
wasn't
could
mad
buy
at that.
moons in the store.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Which is how you have to. That's how you have to do it to get to 999.
That's stupid.
Right.
Like, it feels like you ran out of time, and you're like, well, you can just buy the rest. When do you think Halo will come to PlayStation?
Never.
I mean, it will. I just don't know when.
I think it's dead. That's the reason.
They'll put the Master Chief Collection on PlayStation. It'll sell fucking gangbusters. What are you talking about?
Just like the Gears of War collection that they'll put over there.
Yeah,
it's coming, but I think
so long.
Well, I mean,
it's not going to have multiplayer though.
It's called making money. Like, they're just putting shit out over time and just making more money.
I suppose. I don't know. At this point, I just don't see. And it's sad to say, I don't see Halo as a money-making brand anymore.
Oh, dude. I bet you if they put that Master Chief Collection on PlayStation, it'd sell 10 million copies.
Well, and I think maybe you don't see it as that, because I was thinking that too, but there's so many people that have never played Halo at all, because they've either always had a PlayStation, or maybe they've just grown up and only been on PlayStation, so it's going to sell. It'll make, but that'll reinvigorate it for a little while at least.
I think that would be the end of it. I like...
Oh, I got you.
Port Halo 5. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like it's not a repeat business. It's a hey, we have this, and if that's the case, then I don't know why they haven't done it yet. I don't know. I feel like Microsoft is mishandling their Halo IP anyways, so that's a conversation we've already had. So,
when do you think PS3 games will come to PlayStation Plus? Not streaming, downloads.
Never.
Yep, that's the correct answer.
Yeah, never, I'd say.
Never going to happen.
What's the question?
When will PS3 games be playable, like, natively?
Oh, yeah, no. But that's because of them and that stupid cell processor thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except my mini PC can run PlayStation 3 games.
I know. It's ironic.
Just saying.
Can it run Metal Gear Solid 4?
Mm-hmm. I mean...
Really? It doesn't freeze up?
I mean, well, the emulator's bad, but it can run it.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, damn, I'm jealous.
Like, I don't know if Sony knows this, but they have their own technology. I'm just saying.
I mean,
you know.
If so outside of first party stuff, you're more likely to see a a 360 version of the game make it to PlayStation.
Well, we're gonna get that game
Or
in
you
the
see the PS3
collection
version.
too, anyway. So whatever.
Well, I'm deadly curious on how that's going to work.
It'll be fine.
That'll be the game that's wow, can this actually be done or not?
It'll be done. It'll be fine. What is your safe word in bed? The fuck? I don't have it. Sorry.
Mine's pineapples. Ours is pineapples.
Pineapples?
I listen. I don't care. Y'all can know whatever you want about me, man. This ain't embarrassing me. I tell you.
I'm not embarrassed. I just don't
ours is
have
pineapple.
one. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all don't. Oh, yeah. Well, sometimes you get
I
a little
just
rough,
learned
get a little
more about
sideways.
you than I wanted to know, but that's okay.
You did, yeah, you did. But sometimes I like it a little bit. But sometimes pineapples, that's a little too much. Now you're doing too much. So
See, to me, screaming out the word like pineapples would just be like, what? Huh?
Well, that's what it's supposed to be because it's like,
point. Yeah,
because it's like sideways. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
What
but then that just kills everything.
Like
everything is done then. It's like,
yeah, I think that's the point.
it's pineapples. What you know what I mean?
I guess. I don't know, man. Whatever.
I love this dude. You know what? I love this dude. I hope he send a letter every week. Like, this dude is great. What's next? What do you got next?
What do you think happens after you die?
Oh, man. Oh, I've been thinking about that a lot lately because I'm getting older.
I said, "Wow, okay,
I have
pineapples."
Oh, okay. Well, we need to stop. All right, what you need? What
I have
that?
I have a legitimate response. I don't give a shit. Like, I don't know what happens when I die, but like, I don't give a shit what you do with my body. You could throw it in a drainage ditch. Just take the day
Jesus
off
Christ.
from mourning. You
Wow.
are fuck the system. My death should mean something. Take the day off. Even if you hate me on this podcast, be like, yeah, man, my friend Anthony died, and take the day off. You deserve it.
See, I feel like
Fuck
that
capitalism.
too. Like I've told my wife and I'm like, yeah, you just everybody just have a party. Like, you ain't got to do nothing serious with me. I just want to be cremated, honestly. But as far as to the question, I have no idea. Like I've thought about it, but I haven't like dwelt on it while sipping, my tea and eating a scone. Like thought about it, but it's just kind of one of those things. It's like, man, I wonder, like, am I still going to be me? You know what I mean? Like, what happens to all my, like, that kind of stuff? You know what I mean? Nothing, like, super crazy.
Am I still good? I just hope it's a sleep, man, because I could use it.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I would like some rest, for sure.
I did my time. Let me sleep. Are you looking forward to WrestleMania?
No.
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm not. I don't give a fuck.
I'm not. I am. Okay, so I'm kind of curious about the whole, and actually, Ryan, I was going to talk to you after because I know you're really good at calling this stuff. I figure you probably can tell me what you think will happen on the show, and that probably will be what it is. But I'm curious about the little John Cena thing, the little storyline.
Well, that's the next question.
Oh, what is it?
What do you think of John Cena's heel run so far?
Okay. See, I've only seen a couple speeches because I don't actually watch WWE. I don't think Ryan does either anymore.
I don't watch WWE now.
Okay, yeah. So I just see the clips online of him cutting his promos and stuff like that. And I think it's cool. I think that's interesting because he's been, as long as I have known, John Cena's been like the hero. So to kind of see him flip that is kind of cool. I mean, it's something new for him for sure. And he's a good actor anyway. Like, I like John Cena. So, yeah.
All right. And
Unless you're about to tell me that I shouldn't.
Don't look at me. I don't know nothing about him.
He's a little bit weird, but I don't think he's.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he's a terrible human being. He's just a little bit weird.
Okay.
All right. Will Sony ever do Astrobot merchandise? Astrobot figures would be sick. All 300 plus to collect.
They should.
They've released plush. They've released plush of Astrobot.
Cool.
So it's not out of the question.
Okay.
Yeah, they definitely should. I mean, I think they should be lean and heavy into Astrobot.
Well, they absolutely should be doing that. And they should also be leaning into what Astrobot brought back, classic PlayStation franchises.
Yep.
All right.
Best I can do is another Last of Us remake.
Why not?
Thank you. Thank you for that, Joe.
Also,
no.
of which,
I could do a Days Gone upgrade for you. I can give you that. Get you a Days Gone upgrade.
Jesus Christ.
Speaking of which,
no.
No. When we were talking about like what would we do if we were PlayStation weeks ago, I realized after it's like all those. What they should have done instead of doing remasters of games with new people that they're hiring, because I've heard that that's kind of what they do, right? They have to take the new people and have them remaster old stuff.
Well, they do it for that and for money, obviously.
And for money. They should have had them just do games in franchises that aren't being worked on anymore.
That wouldn't make them money, though.
Well, it would. It's not...
It's not the money they want.
Yeah, well... money they want.
Ain't nobody going to buy 5 million copies of Jumping Flash 4. You know. Just saying.
Well, I'm not going back to fucking Jumping Flash.
Why not? Fucking great.
Agree to disagree.
It's okay. It's okay to be wrong.
It's okay to be wrong. Yep.
Ah! All right. Got another email. It's from Peter. Your good friend Peter, Ryan.
Yep.
He says, hey guys, a non-gamer friend of mine recently shared that she got into Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and is already on her second playthrough. God damn. I bought Immortals Phoenix Rising as a gift for her birthday based on your written and podcast reviews. It was the first time I went back to listen to an old episode. It was pretty interesting to hear the younger versions of all of you from 2021. Man, that wasn't that long ago, was it?
It was 4 years ago.
Jesus Christ.
That was a whole presidency, man. That was a long time.
Most notable is the production quality being much better now. I'm giving side eyes.
It ain't great.
Yeah, I don't believe you.
What? And Ken was more chipper back then?
You kind of been beat down over the last 4 years, Ken.
Well, fucker, I just said
I haven't been the one to want to tell you, but
fucking.
The fucker, I'm almost 50. I've been here since the beginning.
Yeah, all that gray
Listen
hair
to
making you
yourself.
look more like a rain cloud. Oh my gosh.
Fuck all of you. That's my response to all of that. He says, I just started Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor for the first time. It's a little intimidating. I just need to make enough time to play it so I can remember which buttons do what. Thank you for the work, guys. You guys do. I appreciate it.
That game is great, but it gets fucking hard real quick.
Yes, it does.
And they will absolutely team up on you like nothing.
Oh, when you're in the middle of a fight with one of the is it Uruks?
Yeah, Urukai.
Yeah, Urukai, yeah. And
What'd
then
you call
another
me?
one shows up and you get the introduction and you're like, oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh,
All right,
I'm
gonna
barely
get
winning
killed.
this fight.
two assholes from the board of assholes that want me dead has showed up to this particular scenario.
And now they're working together, which
Yep.
that's cool. It's also when like you run into ones that have a beef with each other because then they'll be fighting the other dude, which is kind of nice.
That feels nice at least.
Yes,
No,
those are the
my
good
favorite
ones.
is one who's been stitched up because you killed him and he's returned.
Oh yeah.
And you're like,
Yep.
oh.
Oh,
You thought
man.
you got the best of me, did you? I really hoped I did. Yeah.
That might have been the worst accent I've ever heard.
Yeah, they don't really have an accent. It's just
I knew what he
rough.
was going for, though.
No,
did.
It sounded more like the orcs from Warhammer, though.
Actually, yeah.
Marine.
sounded more like the orcs from Timu.
Timu orcs.
Fuck you.
No, Timu.
Can we get Ken from 4 years ago on this podcast? He seemed much nicer.
The happier one.
That's bullshit, and you know it.
You're so much better.
I was just a better person back then. You don't know. Fucking
Oh, yeah.
COVID and presidencies ruining my life.
Yeah, should I go through the to make us all feel old, the stuff that I was talking about um a couple weeks ago about the time that is drifted by since we started doing this show?
Jesus Christ.
It'll only make all of you feel old, to be honest.
Anthony, when I get out of bed in the morning, I feel old.
Yeah, it's
Fucking
pretty immediate.
good.
It's
I don't have a response to that. What the fuck
good.
am I gonna
Listen to this motherfucker. Good.
Good.
You know what? It's coming for you.
right.
So,
You next.
so
boy.
we're gonna go with it. Okay. So
Oh,
just
sorry,
just to
everybody.
be completely clear, the span of time between now and when the first Last of Us released, so 12 years ago, is longer than the span of time between when our show started and the American launch of the PlayStation 1. PlayStation
Holy crap.
1. And the gap between now and when our show started, which is 19 years this year,
Jesus Christ.
is the same as the gap between when our show started and the release of Mega Man 1.
Jesus.
Just to let you
So
know,
we're clear how long we've been doing this.
just to let you
Mega
know,
Man 1 was just as old to
I
us
would've-
on our first show as the first show is to us now.
I was 13 when the show started.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Wow.
Hear about that.
Right?
I just love the like fucking determination in his voice. Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
13 years old when we started. What was it? I was 20, 24?
To be fair, that's when it was a radio show still, right?
Yeah, I was 24, just about to turn 25 when we started it.
Yeah. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, we called it a radio show.
Wasn't it internet radio though at the time?
No, it was where we hosted? I guess maybe it was. We hosted it on the site, didn't we?
Yeah, I think it took a while before we got it on like iTunes and stuff. It was just an MP3 download, but Gambus and I did we had an actual radio internet station.
That's what I'm referring to.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was
Yeah,
that was pre this. Yeah.
I'm talking
Jesus
this
Christ.
show.
Okay, all right. I apologize. I always assumed it was the same thing that
No.
just sort
No.
of evolved over time.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that was just me and Gambus bullshitting in a fucking loft.
Yeah,
Wow.
we started this show before the iPhone came out.
God damn it! Why'd you have to say that?
As a matter of fact, I think I've said before, Terrence was the first person I knew in person that had an iPhone.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Hey, you and Justin had to have those iPhones.
Yep. Yep, because he had one too.
I swear to Jesus, I think that was before I had a phone. Period.
Oh, I
You know,
definitely
it was-
had phones since I was in college. My first phone was a prepaid Nokia when I was in college.
Dude, I did not
Mine.
carry a phone. My wife made me get a phone when we were dating because I had a car accident and was not able to call anybody.
Ah,
And that's when she made me get the first. I didn't want a phone. I was like, motherfucker, if you want to call me when I get home. That's how
got
old
another
I
friend that's
am.
Like that. I had to make that nigga get a phone because he worked for me. He was one of my managers, and I'm like, bruh, you need a phone. He was like, I ain't calling when I got home. No,
Yeah, that was
I
me.
get it.
That was me. And then she got me a phone, and now I'm the most addicted to a phone of any person there is. This is why I didn't want
funny how that
one.
works, isn't it?
Right.
Funny how that works, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Well, thanks for.
Anyway, that's enough making us all feel old.
I was gonna say thanks for not only making me feel old, but making me feel like a more aggressive asshole now.
Aggressive.
Well, now you can work on bringing 2021 Ken back. That can be your
goal.
mission.
Yep.
I'm about to drop like $50,000. I don't think I'm gonna be chipper anytime soon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
no, spending that kind of money would not make. Yeah,
No,
no.
I was gonna.
joys of homeownership.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's gonna sit here and curse at the bank account. Like, fucking. yell at Anthony because he's a bitch.
What do you say?
I don't know what that had to do with anything.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm still salty about him yelling at me earlier. I'm mad.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me find where I gave a shit, and then.
Oh shit, that's funny.
Motherfucker used to send me goddamn direct messages on Twitter just to rile me up, and can't take a little bit of ribbing.
Oh, Anthony, if I couldn't take the ribbing, we would have a different issue. You know I love you.
It's ribbed for your pleasure.
That's right. What's your safe word?
Yeah. What's?
Anyway, that's it for this week. If you'd like to send us emails,
why would you at this point? We've peaked. This episode's great.
Tell us how old we are and how angry we are. You can send us to podcast.
I like how they can't even say, 2021 Anthony was better, because no, he wasn't. It's been a stagnant line right across.
You know, in my brain, this is how long we've been doing the show, truly. In my brain, Anthony's only been on the show for 6 months.
Holy crap!
I think I've been on since 2018.
I know. That's where my brain is, because the show's been going so long that
you've been doing it so long.
You're the newest member, that's regular. In my brain, I'm like, oh yeah, he's been here for 6 months to a year, maybe tops. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it's only been 6 months of pain. Oh wait, it's been 7 years.
Drew's only been gone for 4 months.
Most of that time, yeah.
These are how these things work in my brain.
I found a guy. Drew found a guy and then left.
Yeah. Drew's like, here's my replacement. You gotta start coming up with
actually. I didn't realize he'd been gone a year. When he said when he told us what was in the thing, I was like, Jesus, I didn't realize that much time had passed.
Dude, when you get old, shit just moves at a different clip.
And that's because he used to call in from Bosnia. 90% of the time he wasn't here. When he was calling in from Bosnia.
That must be the improvement in the production values.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, podcast is ZTGD.com. You can send them there. You can also tweet and skeet at us, of which I didn't get any. I'm disappointed. At ZTGD Radio. Except for one person called Terrence racist. So there's that.
Oh, hold on.
It's a joke. Calm down. It's
okay.
Yeah, it's just a joke.
But what?
I think I saw that one.
Yeah, he tweeted out that he didn't enjoy playing as Yasuke, and somebody said, man, you racist.
I saw that one. Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Okay, gotcha. All right, that was pretty good.
Anyway, but yeah, you can tweet and skeet at us over there at those two sites, because why not? Anyway, that's it. That's all I got. Unless anybody has anything else, we'll get out of here.
No.
Peace, bitches.
Alrighty. And it goes something like this.